So in this video, we learn how to multiply matrices. So the first thing that you need to know is that the order of the matrix is very important. So matrix A times matrix B is not the same as matrix B times matrix A. For example, let's say if we have 5 by 2, which is 10, it is the same thing as 2 times 5. But in matrices, the order is very important and it makes a huge difference when you're multiplying it. So keeping this in mind, let's start with the example. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to find how many number of rows the matrix has and number of columns. So here we have one row in this and we have 3 columns. So 1, 2, 3. So we have a 1 by 3. So row by column, number of columns. And here we have 3 rows and 1 column. So 3 by 1. So this is called the order of the matrix. And now what you have to check is that is the number of columns which is in the first matrix equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. So if they are equal, then only you are able to perform the multiplication. If these two numbers are not the same, then you can directly write that it is undefined, or say that the number of columns of the first matrix does not equal to the number of rows in the second matrix, so we cannot perform the multiplication. So since they are equal, and the other thing now is the left hand side, which is the number of rows of the first matrix and the number of columns of the second matrix, and this 1 by 1 is the final outcome of the matrix. So what you will get over here, so you know that, okay, let me write it over here. So this is the final matrix that you will get. So you already know that it is going to be a 1 by 1 matrix, which could be 1, 2, anything, 12. So now let's perform the multiplication. So you take the first row of the first matrix multiplied by the first column of the second matrix. So it is going to be 1 times 1. Let me just open this up. So 1 times 1. I'm going to highlight what I'm doing right now. So let me just remove this here. So 1 from here and 1 from here, plus 2 times 2, plus 3 times 3. And this will simplify and give you 14. So this is the final answer. And as we can see, it is a 1 by 1 matrix. Now let's flip these now and see what answer that we will get. So if we do the other order, so this, let me just write it down. So if we reverse the order, instead of doing this one, we just flip the order, and let's see what we will get now. So again, first thing is again writing the order. This is a 3 by 1 and 1 by 3. And now identify if the right hand side is equal to the left hand side here. They are equal, so we can perform multiplication, and the final result that we will get is a 3 by 3 matrix. So 3 by 3 here. And now let's perform the multiplication again. So the first row of the left hand side matrix multiplied by the first column. So first row, first column, you will get 1. And now first row of the first matrix times the second column, you will get 1 times 2, which is 2. Again, so first row of the first matrix times the third column now, so we'll get 3. Now moving on, we will move on to the second row now. So second row, first element is 2 times the first column. So you'll get 2 here. Moving on, 2 by 2 again, so 4. And then 2 by 3, 6. Moving on to the third row now. The third row, first column is 3. 3 times 2, then 6. Another simpler way of looking at this is that we are taking, if we take the first row and first column, this will be the first element here. First row, second column. So you can see that if I label these, we are basically just performing first row, and then this is the element over here. So if we take second row, first column, this will be the element over here. Second row, second column, this will be the element in the second row, second column. So that's all that we're doing, and this is the final answer. So now let's look at another example over here. So the first thing again that we have to do is write the order of the matrix. So this is a 2 by 2 and this is a 3 by 3. And now if we verify the right hand side of the first matrix on the left hand side, they are not equal. So 2 is not equal to 3, hence we can directly say that the matrix, it is undefined. So let's do the last example in our video. So again, we need to identify the order. So number of rows of the first matrix is 2, and number of columns is 3. So it's a 2 by 3 matrix over here. And in B, the number of rows is 3 times number of columns, which is 4. So now we verify that these two numbers are the same. They are. So we are ready to implement the multiplication now. So and we know that the final matrix is going to be a 2 by 4 matrix. So we can directly draw, a 2 by 4 here. So 2 columns and 4 columns, 2 rows and 4 columns. So now let's start the row by column multiplication. So we take the first row of matrix A multiplied by the first column of matrix B, and this will be the first element over here. And once we move on, then it will be first column, first row, second column. So let's start doing that. So the first thing that we have to do, I'm just gonna make the workings over here. So it's gonna be first row, first column. So 1 times 5, 1 times 5 plus 4 times 3, so it's going to be 12, plus negative 2 times negative 2, so which is 4, and this will give you 21. So this will be the first element over here. Now let's take the first row of matrix A multiplied by the second column of matrix B, which is this one. So it's going to be, let me just remove all this. So 1 times 2 plus 4 times 6, which is 24, plus negative 2 times 9, so which is negative 18, and this will give us 8. So 8. Moving on again, then first column first column third row now. So it's going to be 1 times 8 plus 4 times 4 plus negative 2 times 7. So let me just write it over here. 1 times 8 plus 4 times 4, which is 16, plus negative 2 times 7, which is negative 14, and this will give us 10. So you can repeat all these steps again and again until you complete the entire matrix. So I'm just gonna fast forward it now until the second row. So second row, you just do the same. Instead of taking the first row, take the second row multiplied by the first column over in matrix B. So second row now, first column, and it will be the same calculations again. So 3 times 5 plus 5 times 3 plus negative 6 times negative 2. So you will get, and you can repeat these steps for the next elements. So the main thing is that you identify what, first of all, if the matrix is able, are you able to multiply the matrix by verifying these two digits, and then the other step, which is identifying the result, the order of the resulting matrix, really also helps you. as we know it's a 2 by 4 matrix, you can draw it and then you can just calculate the values. So let me just finish this up. And there is a shortcut method on the calculator where you can just type the matrix that you want to multiply and it will give you the final answer. So this method really helps you recheck your answer, and if it is an MCQ question then you can just directly calculate the answer. So I will be making a YouTube short video on that, so stay tuned.